a gold medal. Only about 6,000 have ever been awarded. To give you some perspective on that figure, every gold medal could have its own room on this cruise liner. So it's a rare achievement. Rarer still are those Olympians who have won multiple gold medals. There are an unbelievable 367 competitors who have taken home 3 or more gold medals. Each of them could find a seat on this plane. There is, however, one group of Olympians so special they could fit into one car. Athletes who've won gold at 5 separate Olympic Games. They are Hungarian fencer Ala Dagerovic, German equestrian Rainer Klimke, plus 2 rowers, Romanian Elisabetta Lipa and Britain's Stephen Redgrave. And driving that car would be Germany's Birgit Fischer, whose story truly epitomizes the Olympic ideal.
Hey, are we taking part by watching?
Yes, we are.
That makes us special then.
Fischer is a German kayaker. I say is rather than was, because with her story you can't guarantee she won't come back for more. Born in Brandenburg, East Germany, in 1962, young Birgit took to the water when she was only 6, and she quickly flourished. By the time she entered her first Olympic Games, at just 18 years old, she had already won 2 world titles. At the Moscow Olympic Games in 1980, her first ever Olympic event was the K1 500 meters. K means kayak, 1 means 1 person, and 500 meters means it's a sprint. Despite being the youngest in the field, Fischer won with relative ease and took her first gold medal. Fischer was unable to defend her title in 1984, but she was back for Seoul in 1988, taking 2 goals in the K2 and K4 500-meter races. Believe it or not, that could have been that. Fischer thought that 3 gold medals and a silver from 2 Olympics were a decent return for her career. She had 2 young children at home and decided to retire from the sport. She wasn't going to be gone for long. She was back in time for the next Games, Barcelona in 1992. Her medal tally improved further here, taking gold in the K1 and silver in the K4. All thoughts of retirement were dismissed. Atlanta 1996 brought another gold-silver combo, first in the K4 and second in the K2. And she followed that up at Sydney in 2000 with 2 more gold medals in the K2 and K4. She had joined that very small elite group. Over 5 Olympics she had won an incredible 7 gold medals and 3 silvers. Now 38, it was finally time to call it a day. Fischer had cemented her place as one of the very greatest athletes in Olympic history and could hang up her oar and relax with her family, content that there was no more she could have done. A hero in Germany and christened Supermom by the press, she went about living as normal a life as you can when you've had such a famous and extraordinary career. Fischer would still regularly feature in magazines and on TV shows, and in 2003 a company wanted to make a documentary about her life. An honor indeed. The film crew asked Fischer to sit in her kayak for a shot. It was the first time she had done so since the Sydney Olympics, and it hit her like a thunderbolt. A wave of competitiveness flowed through her, and her mind immediately switched to the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, just 9 months away. After 3 years away, just qualifying was an achievement, but that would never do for Fischer. She was targeting gold. She shed 7 kilos and quickly got back to her former sharpness. It turns out that kayaking is a lot like riding a bike, on water, with your hands. Basically, you never forget. She of course qualified and took to the water for the K4, her team tackling the world champion Hungarians. Having started her first race back in 1980 as the youngest in the field, here she was at 42, the oldest competitor. The German team stormed to the title, giving Fischer yet another gold medal. Her medal collection would swell further when she took silver in the K2. Now it really was time to retire. Over 24 years and across 6 Olympic Games, Fischer had amassed 8 gold medals. That makes Fischer the second most decorated female Olympian ever and the most successful kayaker of all time, which isn't a bad result for someone who first wanted to call it a day all the way back in 1988. That's the problem with being a winner. It's addictive.